Welcome to the RC Lawn Chair Pilots Podcast. I'm Derek.
Steven.
Welcome back. We appreciate you tuning in and joining us here on this fine day.
Afternoon, morning, evening.
Whenever you're tuning in, welcome.
Hey, thank you.
So we're changing things up a little bit in the way that we record our episodes. So we're recording this very shortly after having released our last one.
Yeah.
So not a lot has happened, but with this new schedule, we'll be recording every 2 weeks and releasing as per usual. So
and
this
we'll
may be
have
a
little
shorter.
bit, yeah, and we may have we should have more stuff to talk about. It's just this one was so quickly after the last one.
Yeah.
There's a good possibility.
And I do apologize for getting the last one out so late. Labor Day weekend was very busy for me.
Yeah, and that's, again, part of the reason why we changed our recording schedule.
Yeah. Yep. So, but welcome back. Let's get into this. So,
all right,
let's
get started.
Any news?
So the biggest news I got going on right now is I actually started working on fixing my DLG elf.
That was the elf.
Yeah. So
well, that's good.
Yeah.
How's that going?
Well, I just started it today.
So you got the servos off?
I've got them all apart, but I haven't taken them off completely yet.
Oh, okay.
But I've got everything apart, and I've got my balsa wood down, and I was measuring to see how much I need to cut off to put in there to fix it.
To reinforce it.
I literally just started today, so that's why it's just news. Next time, it'll be my project. Hopefully, I'll be done with it.
Yeah.
And that my news will be that I flew it.
All right.
So that's the goal. That's the plan. But yeah, right now it's sitting on my desk, and I got the balsa wood sitting there, and I've got measurements going to
figure it out, fit it
figure it out and fit it up. Yep.
Nice.
So
cool. Oh, I thought of a news that I didn't list on here.
Oh, okay.
We're in communications with potential sponsors. We'll see how that goes.
Oh, sweet. Yeah.
But as always, check. You can if you want to see any of the stuff or buy any of the stuff that we use, affiliate links are down in the description. So check those out.
Check those out, and thank you.
We stand by everything that we put up there because it's stuff that we use and it's good stuff. Okay,
Yep.
Moving on.
Yes.
While I continue to shamelessly plug stuff.
Hey, why not? If we don't, no one else will.
It's true. That's why we're doing this. Shamelessly plugging stuff.
Yep. So you got some new products on here.
Yes. So
Talk about these.
It's interesting. People like reaching out to our Instagram page through direct messages. And one of such communications was 24 hours ago as of this recording.
Okay.
Dancing Wings Hobby.
Okay.
So
I'm not familiar with that.
I've heard of them once or twice.
Okay.
So they are a company out of China. They produce balsa models, and then they also sell electronics and kits to go with them.
Oh, okay.
So like they sell scale models of like military planes. They have gliders.
Cool.
And a few others. So like you can get a Piper Cub, the J3 Cub in a 1.8 meter or 1.2 meter size for a pretty good price.
Nice.
And you can buy just the balsa kit, or you can buy the balsa kit and the covering, or the balsa kit and the motor, or the balsa kit and all the electronics and the covering, or all of that plus the transmitter for various prices, of course.
Of course.
But you can, like, everything you need, you can get in one go.
Wow. That's kind of cool.
Yeah. So I was looking at it, and like the 1.8 meter Cub. Just the balsa kit is, I think it was around $120.
Okay.
Which is a screaming deal.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
Yeah. And then like you add in the covering, it's another $30 or $40, I forget.
Okay.
And then it goes up from there.
Yeah,
of course,
and then that's the thing I like about this. That sounds very appealing to a newbie like me.
Yeah.
Is I can just grab from one place, and it will have it all, which is that's very appealing. Because right now, I mean, I have a transmitter, so I don't need a new one.
No.
But if I were starting again and I wanted maybe to get a good start with maybe a higher bit of money to begin with, but something out of the gate that, you know, put it together, have everything there, don't need to mix and match things like I've been doing.
Yeah.
That sounds like a somewhat appealing thing. It might be a little more pricey out of the
bit.
gate. But over time, probably not, because
Yeah.
I still needed to get receivers. I needed to get, well, I got my transmitter, but I needed receivers and batteries and,
Yeah.
different things like that. And if they have kits with those things,
The kits come with well, none of the kits I've seen have batteries with them,
okay.
but they're just standard
everything
batteries.
else-
Everything else. So
yeah.
like your motor, your ESC, those are the hardest things to pair
Yes,
and
exactly.
fit to your model. Like that's a nightmare.
Yeah.
And then all the servos you'd need.
Yeah.
And
So,
then the covering material because they're balsa kits, so you got to cover them.
yeah, because they don't fly without that.
No, they don't.
They fall.
So it's a pretty great resource. It ships out of China. You can find them. They have their own storefront that they sell from. They sell on Hobby King. They sell on Amazon, all sorts of places.
So I do like that idea.
Yeah,
like
it's really cool.
Like, especially for beginners.
Absolutely.
Somebody who wants to get in but maybe doesn't want to go deep into it. That seems like a really great place to jump off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like for a first balsa kit, that's
yeah.
a pretty good way to go.
Exactly. I
So-
mean, any of my balsa kits that I go from here on out, I've already got my transmitter and my receivers,
Mhm.
right? So I just match up servos, and then any other, like if it's a collider or if it's motored or powered, I should say,
Yeah.
then I
You
get.
just need motor and ESC and
yeah,
whatever.
that
yeah,
stuff.
Exactly.
But as it is, so I don't know if I'm ready to put a balsa together.
It's fun. So, but with that company, something that I found that's super awesome. So when it comes to receivers, Free Sky has their own line of receivers.
Yeah.
They're so lightweight and so tiny, and they're great.
Yeah.
But one thing that they don't have that Spectrum has is Spectrum. It's not open source, but a lot of third-party companies.
There you
That's the
go.
word. Get their hands on the Spectrum protocol that the radios and the receivers use to communicate,
Okay.
the DSMX and the DSM2 protocol,
Uh-huh.
and they make little knockoff receivers.
Okay.
Now, one reason why Free Sky upgraded all their systems to the Access protocol is to get away from companies that were doing that.
Okay.
Access is a lot harder to crack, supposedly.
Okay.
So you can go out there and you can find super cheap discount receivers that meet up with Spectrum. You can't do that with I thought you couldn't do that with Free Sky. But Dancing Wing Hobbies has a micro receiver
That's compatible with Free Sky?
that is compatible with Free Sky ACCST D16,
Oh,
which our
wow.
transmitters still are.
Yeah.
Here's the best part. So it has so on your receiver board, it has two plugs for aileron servos,
Okay.
and it has built in your rudder and elevator servos
Built into the receiver.
built into the receiver.
Oh.
So, for example, this Gillows plane that I have pictured on the wall behind me, these buggers are super tiny. Wingspan, 35 inches.
Oh, wow.
Or
Yeah.
excuse me, no, that's a full size. What's this thing? Excuse me, wingspan 24 inches. Super tiny plane. I can fit one of my standard receivers, one of my regular Free Sky receivers in here, no problem.
Yeah.
Really easy. Only problem is finding servos that are small enough
Yeah.
that use the same plug. Well, Dancing Wing, I get that one receiver. Like this airplane, if I convert it to electric, which I will, it's going to be just rudder and elevator. Maybe ailerons. Most likely just rudder and elevator.
Okay.
With that one receiver block,
You already have the rudder and
rudder and
elevator.
elevator are built right in,
Yeah.
which is super convenient.
That actually is very cool.
And then they also sell 1.7 gram servos.
Holy crap. That's lighter than the Nano I have, I think.
They're stinking tiny.
Yeah.
So I could put them comfortably in the wing of these Gillows airplanes for
There's-
aileron servos.
There's not very much room in that wing.
There's not, which is the problem.
That's
but
pretty cool.
these receivers, these receivers and servos, I could comfortably do that with.
That actually is pretty cool.
So I'm hope to get myself one of those little receivers and some of their 1.7 gram servos and chuck them in one of these and hope it works. Only problem is there is no plug for the motor. So I'll have to figure that out.
So you have to come up with something on that.
Yeah. We'll see.
All right.
I didn't think I'd ever find a Free Sky receiver that tiny, but apparently there still are some that are compatible with current protocols.
That is pretty awesome.
So I'm super excited for that. We'll see how it goes.
So that once again, that was Dancing Wings. Go and check
Yep.
it out and
It's
see
called
what you think.
Website, I think, is dwhobby.com. We'll post a link to it for sure, just and list it here on the screen, just in case I got it horribly wrong. But yeah,
Pretty cool.
and they've got some good balsa kits. One that I've really got my eye on.
Do they have gliders too?
Yeah, they've got 3 different glider kits.
I'll have to go check it out and see if
Yeah.
there's a glider I want to add to my.
There's one I would recommend.
Is there?
So, Great Plains used to make one, either Great Plains or Dynaflight, I forget which, made one called the Bird of Time.
Okay.
Really classic glider. Lots of people have flown it. Lots of people love it. Long since out of production.
Oh, really?
They have one that is modeled and looks very similar to it.
Very cool. I like that.
A little smaller, though.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's the one I've got my eye on, and I'd recommend it. So, Dancing with Your Hobbies. I talked to them. They're pretty cool. I haven't used any of their stuff, but reviews seem to be all right. So, yeah.
We'll have to.
We'll check it out, and we'll report back to you.
Yeah, we'll have to
eventually.
check one out and see how it goes.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll put that on my list of things.
Our
don't
list
know.
of things is just growing.
Yeah, I want to get my elf working again. So that's what most of my morning tomorrow will be doing.
Nice.
And if I can put it back and get it repaired,
You going to go fly?
I might fly tomorrow morning before I head off to work.
Nice. It's going to be many moons before I figure out what to do with my DLG.
We'll sit down. We'll have a project night and we'll sit down and we'll look at that thing. I mean, we looked at it last week when we recorded last time, but it was just brief. It was quick.
Yeah. It needs a new fuselage pod.
Yes, it does.
What that ends up being is going to be the interesting part.
And that's the question is how much will the replacement weigh?
Yeah.
And that's my biggest concern.
Mine too.
Like I said, we can repair it.
Yeah.
But how much, are we going to have to put 20 cents on the back of that in pennies?
Which, yeah,
To
it's
offset.
already a heavy glider. Compared to yours, mine's a brick.
Oh, yeah, yours is way heavy. I would say yours is almost double the weight of mine.
I wouldn't say that much, but it's I'd say 50% heavier
50% heavier. It's pretty heavy.
Yeah.
Compared to mine. Mine is very, very light, which is why the nose slammed against my leg when the wind was blowing, because it is very, very light.
Yeah.
So what? Let's see. Okay, yeah, that's the last of the products, right?
Yep, that's
So
all. I think that's all.
What outing you got up here?
Looking around.
You got some outings going on.
So I haven't gone out flying since Soar, Utah, because it's been a week
Yeah.
at the time of this recording.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll get out before this releases because I have a flyable glider. I have one plane that might fly. I just need to check some mountings on it. Yeah.
We could go to the water towers and fly that one.
I need a high start before I fly that anywhere other than the point of the mountain.
Oh, do you? Okay.
Yeah. And I met a guy at Soar, Utah that
Sorry,
said
that is his
my Spirit.
Spirit, which we've talked about.
Yeah,
Sorry.
the one that's the big one I took to Soar, Utah. So I met a guy at Soar, Utah that said he'd sell me a high start for $25.
Oh, okay.
I didn't get his name like an idiot.
Oh, good. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I know, good stuff. But he lives here in Utah, so I can just go to one of the club meets
Yeah.
and meet him there and get his information.
Did you happen to interview that one?
I didn't.
Oh, there's a double fail.
I know. Yeah. There were a couple of interviews I missed out on that I wanted to get, but that's all right.
Yeah.
So, but I want a high start before I take that out anywhere
Okay.
other than Point of the Mountain.
Got it.
So, and I've got other planes I need to finish and stuff.
Yeah, you have
Right now I'm working
plenty
on
of projects. Finish
planes.
that one.
Yes, I'll finish the Chaos Wing.
Now
We'll talk about that in just a sec.
Okay.
But upcoming events.
Yes. What do you got here? What is UVA Climb?
So this is coming up this Saturday. So the Saturday before this episode releases. So by the time
Last
you guys
Saturday.
are seeing this, it's already happened.
Yeah, or
But
listening to this.
But the Utah Valley Aero Modelers are having their climb and glide competition.
So September 12th is when that happened.
Yes. So the way it works, I'm going to read they have rules listed on their Facebook page. It was pretty cool. I saw the rules. I'm like, oh, that sounds fun. So any powered aircraft allowed gas, nitro, or electric, including powered sailplanes, may have wheels for takeoff and landing for an ROG takeoff or maybe hand launch. Contestants will be separated in 3 classes: any nitro powered, including old timers, gas or electric, any sailplane type models, and any others, sport type electric models. So
Okay.
various classes.
Yeah.
And then it's going to be a timed competition. So what it does is you launch the plane, either take off or hand launch or whatever.
Yeah. However you get into the air.
You will run the engine/motor for 20 seconds and get as high as you can.
Okay.
And then it will be shut down. You if it's a nitro motor or electric motor, you kill it.
Okay.
If it's a glider, then you just whatever.
Yeah.
And then they'll check to make sure that it's off. Like if it's a gas engine, your engine needs to stop spinning. If it's an electric engine, you have to prove some way that it's turned off. I'm not sure how they're going to do that. And then it will be a competition to see how long you can stay in the air.
Wow, that sounds kind of fun.
So it's basically a dead stick competition, because when you're flying nitro planes or gas planes, you get them up in the air and you run out of fuel or something happens and your engine just quits, you yell dead stick, and then your goal is just to safely land the darn thing.
Yeah.
So this is a dead stick competition.
That sounds actually pretty interesting.
So I posted on the rules announcement and said, hey, is there going to be a high start there? Because it's open to others so long as you have your AMA license.
Yeah.
So I haven't heard back if there's going to be a high start, but if there was a high start, I'd take my Spirit, because I'd stay up all freaking day.
Yeah, you would.
So, and let's see here. So points. Each pilot will be awarded 1 point for each second the aircraft is airborne. Beginning from start of takeoff or hand launch, each pilot will also receive 50 points if the aircraft touches down on the runway during landing or artificial turf for planes with no wheels.
Wow.
So if it's basically spot landing as well. So if you land within the designated area, which is the runway, then you get an extra 50 points.
That is pretty cool. So you could really, if you have a horrible flight, you could make up for some of it by landing on the the runway.
But now would be the time to have a glider with a power pod on it, because then you can just climb straight up.
Yep.
And level out and just sit there and find a thermal.
And just
hang out all day.
Yeah. And you just be like, okay, did everybody else finish? I'll come down
everybody
now.
else finished their competitions. I'm still up at 400 feet because that's the max.
And I'll come down now.
I'm going to start coming down now. Give me 20 minutes. So let's see here.
That's actually that sounds like a very fun thing.
At the very least, I want to go just to watch.
Yeah, so you're gonna try to get out there. Do you think you'll be able to get the camera out and talk to some people? Maybe.
I think so.
Okay, cool.
So I'm gonna try and go out there. We'll see how it goes. We'll see what Saturday entails. If I do, I will take my glider and my transmitter and my camera. Glider just in case there's a high start, and camera so I can snap some awesome pictures and video and maybe get a couple interviews.
That'd be very cool.
If so, you'll hear it here.
Yep, you'll see and hear it here.
But at the very least, that just looks like a fun flight competition.
Yeah, I kind of wish my Saturday was open.
What are you doing Saturday?
I got lots of things I got to get done Saturday.
I'll probably end up having lots of things I need to get done Saturday too. We'll see.
It's sad. My Saturdays have all been full. But my mornings are still open, so I just need to fix my DLG and get out and fly.
Yeah.
And
well,
we've had some impressive wins.
Yeah, we have. My word, that was ridiculous.
Well,
so yeah, that was that's it for outings. That's my future outings.
Yeah, I'm hoping, I don't have any scheduled outings, but I'm hoping I can get my ELF repaired rather quickly.
Yeah.
And be able to get out and maybe a couple throws first thing Saturday morning and might go to the water tower.
We need to better fix your servos in place as well as the control rods.
Yeah, I can fix the control rods. I didn't do a better job because I'm afraid of permanency when it comes to stuff like that. And so I could have done a better job just doing that. And after this fix, I think I'll fix those a little bit better.
So here's what you need to do before you fly it and crash it again.
Okay.
Get everything fixed, set it in place, like loosely set in place,
Yeah.
then take it in the backyard and just give it a couple test glides across the backyard to make sure it flies nice and level.
Okay.
Once you're comfortable with that,
Set everything.
glue it down hard.
I
Because then you won't have to touch it.
I kind of did that last time with the gluing, but I didn't do a permanent set with my rods.
Yeah, you need that.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
they move.
All right. But, okay, project updates.
All right. So this is my 2 projects, basically. Not the elf,
No,
but
no, we already covered that.
I a little while ago I got a flight simulator for FPV racing drones to what's up?
It's just weird that we're both talking at similar levels, but you're considerably louder on the thing than I am.
Oh, that's very weird.
I can fix it. I can balance it out and post it. It's
Oh,
fine.
anyway, sorry.
Carry
So
on.
I got the flight simulator lift off, and I can't remember the company that sponsors it, but it's specifically designed for learning to do FPV racing drones. Learning how to control them, learning how to fly them. It's got all kinds of tutorials on how to steer and bank, both with somewhat control, or what do they call it? With
Horizon mode and acro mode,
Yeah,
and stabilized mode,
exactly.
and all that stuff.
And so I played around with that a little bit, and it was all right. I'm going to have to play around with that a lot when I decide to go and build the
Build
FPV
yourself a
racing
quad,
drone.
Stabilized mode and horizon mode I've found are very hard to fly in.
I have found that I suck at flying those, all of them.
They are tricksy little hobbits.
So, like, the biggest thing that I notice is, like, no matter what mode I'm in, I'm always, the drone feels like, the quadcopter feels like it's on ice all of the time.
Well, yeah. Because you have one point of thrust pointed straight down, and you have to. It's a balancing act on top of that pin.
Yeah.
It's very slippery.
Yes. Yeah, very, very slippery. So,
It's
I
not
got
something you sit there and hover with.
no,
Like
it's
your
not like
DJI.
my DJI flies
It's something
itself.
you get up and you just controlled chaos it around the course.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Only I can't turn worth a darn. At least on the simulator, which means, you know, from the people I've talked to that have used it, it's really pretty good, and it has where you can customize it to match the drone that you're actually flying.
Mm-hmm.
So you can do customized motor information and controller information and stuff
and
like that,
weights and stuff.
and weights. So you
Nice.
can get a closer feel to what your drone will be like. You can add wind and all stuff. Like you
Nice.
can add natural stuff that you would see out on the field.
Very
So
cool.
I played with that a couple weeks ago. Really haven't
Oh.
talked about it much.
How much was it? Sorry.
I think it was $20.
That's not bad.
Yeah, it's not that expensive. And then Derek told me about one for gliders, and
Yeah.
there's some other stuff in there, but mostly gliders.
It's mostly built for
What is
gliders,
it
feels
called?
like.
Pika Sim. Flight
Pika
simulator.
Sim flight simulator. Yeah.
And that one has a donation level, so you can donate to it, but it's free.
You don't have
with,
to donate if
yeah,
you don't
with a
want
request to donate.
Yep.
So, and if you like it, I would say donate.
There's
Like-
also apps for your phones, free and paid versions.
Yeah.
I've
So-
actually flown the free version before many whiles ago.
Oh, have
Pretty
you?
good.
So this moves me into the beginner tips, and I'm gonna just jump into it because
Well,
I'm
hang
irritated.
on. I have project updates.
But I'm irritated. Okay, do
okay,
your project.
Fine. No, do your thing because we'll talk about it because it's part of the project of
It's
Pika Sim and just setting up your flight simulators and
it
transmitter
is
in general.
super, super annoying, and I blame everybody, not just Microsoft. But
blame
Microsoft is a
Microsoft.
big key thing. So Windows 10, which is always being updated, does not enjoy or play nice with the FreeSky driver. It recognizes it, and I was able to downgrade it when I first hooked up the liftoff. When I installed liftoff, I was able to finally get it downgraded and fly. Then my computer's done an update, and when I tried to do the new simulator, it would not recognize my thing. I was looking, I couldn't downgrade it. I don't know. We're going to talk. But
We'll talk
I am
now.
super irritated by that because it recognizes it as a device, but not as a controller. And
Yeah.
so I can't play the games I have.
Oh, poor Steven.
Which means
little
I'm not going to
Steven.
get any better at flying.
Well, here, I'll tell you how to do it.
Okay.
So,
School me.
a year ago now, Microsoft pushed out the update to switch their driver that works with FreeSky controllers from an HID driver, human interface device, to better USB,
Okay.
which is garbage.
Yeah, which is the one mine currently
Absolute
is on.
garbage. It's yeah. And up until a couple months ago, you could go into your device and properties
downgrade
manager
it.
and roll it back.
Yes. Which I can't now.
It can't roll back anymore.
Correct.
Trying to find and download the proper driver is a nightmare. But you don't have to do that.
Okay.
So what you do is you open your properties and device manager. You figure out which one is your, because it still recognizes your TARANIS.
Yeah.
It still pulls it up and says, look, there's a USB device.
Yes.
It just doesn't do anything with it because it doesn't know what to do with it because it's dumb. So you click on it, you open it up, you click on it and open up the properties.
Yeah.
And go to the device tab where you can, or the driver tab
Okay.
where you would normally roll it back.
Yeah.
Instead, what you do is you click on upgrade driver.
Okay.
And you have two options, browse the internet or browse this computer.
Uh-huh.
Tell it to browse this computer,
Okay.
and it'll pull up two options, better USB, and I forget what the other one was. Pick the other one. Don't pick the better USB because that's what it's already using, and it's garbage.
Okay.
But you
I
pick
will
the
give
other
it a
one
shot and give an
tell it
update.
to use that driver, works immediately.
Okay. I will give it a shot because
I
that is
spent many moons searching the interwebs trying to get that to work because I have now 3 flight simulators on my computer.
I was actually trying to get that working this morning, and I was irritated. And then I tried again before I came over here and was still irritated. And then it just ended up watching TV.
So that's the fix. And for anyone out there with FreeSky transmitters or any transmitter that you plug into your computer via USB to do your flight simulator and it doesn't recognize it, give that a try.
Get rid of the better USB.
Well, you don't get rid of it. You just change which one it uses by updating
yeah,
it.
there we go. That's a better way of terminology.
Because you can't get rid of better USB. Every Windows update, it reinstalls it.
So use the other one.
Yes, use the other one. And it works great. I've flown 2 of my flight simulators with it.
I am going to, when we get done recording,
great.
that's what I will go do.
Yeah.
Because I want to try. Because I want to fly. The simulator's just not as good, in my opinion, as out there actually flying.
No, never will be.
But it is at least something, and it does give you practice of flying.
It helps you build that muscle memory and that coordination of when I see this happening, I need to respond in this way.
Yeah, which I need lots of.
Yeah. So, yeah. It's a great tool. And, like, a guy I met at SOAR, Utah is evidence of that. Because he...
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. So this dude drove out from Florida.
Oh, I heard about him. Yep.
And he had this little flying wing glider. He chucked off the edge, and he spent most of the time upside down. Purposely flying upside down, doing flips and rolls and loops and whoop-de-doos and upside downs.
That's fun.
He was really good. And I'm like, dude, you're so good. I never interviewed him, sadly. But I'm like, dude, you're doing really good. He's like, no, I'm doing terrible. I'm like, what are you kidding? You're upside down half the time. He's like, yeah, I know. But apparently, so in Florida, there's no hills because, Florida.
It's Florida, yeah. It's a big sandbar.
So he just practices with PicaSim. He has the PicaSim flight simulator.
And that's all he flies.
And that's how he practices his gliders, is he flies PicaSim.
Okay. And then he comes out here
And then he comes out here every 2 years and tears up the skies.
Yeah. All right. Well, okay. Then I will. I mean, that's my
That
plan.
sold me on it because I've heard people talk about it. I'm like, it seems kind of junky. And it is really low end. Like, graphics are super low quality.
Yeah.
But
I don't.
it's effective. Like, it's got
Like, for simulators, I don't really need really good graphics.
It's
as
got
long
good
as
physics.
the physics are right. That's
It's got pretty
key.
good physics.
That's the biggest key.
Yeah.
Because even the liftoff, the graphics are okay. Better than
I remember
they need to be.
liftoff's a little on the lower end for the graphics of quad simulators out there.
Probably, but The physics seem very good.
Yeah, physics is key. When
Yeah.
it comes to a flight simulator, especially for quads, you want to make sure you got good physics,
Yeah, so
especially ones that you can control.
exactly. So I did step over your project, and I
Nah, it's
apologize
fine.
for that. I just had to rant about that for a little bit
No,
because it was
absolutely.
very irritating to me because I
I love Windows, but I hate their updates.
couldn't do what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
So what is your
So
project
my
that
project
you're working
update. I'm still plugging away on my Chaos Wing.
on? Yeah, which
Here it
is
is again in the video if you want a reminder.
still
Beautiful little
looking
flying
great.
wing. So I spent the other night, actually the night I finished editing the Soar Utah episode,
Okay.
while everything was rendering down, I took the aileron stock that was provided with the kit, these two little triangle pieces of balsa wood, and I shaped them down to
Oh.
their curved shape
Nice.
because they used to be just flat blocks, and I added some taper to them so it goes from the front,
Yeah.
the pivot, the hinge end to the trailing edge, and it's got a nice little taper there, and
Now-
it's smooth.
When it comes to flying, what does that give you?
It just helps follow the contour of the rest of the wing.
Okay.
That's all.
right. So it's not going to really give you anything specific, but maybe a little bit less drag.
Probably, yeah. Yeah, because there's not a huge flat surface at the back of them.
Yeah.
So I got
Okay.
those tapered up and shaped and ready to go.
They look good. So if you
I'm-
saw them in the video,
Yeah.
but they do look good. They're very
I'm
well
pleased- I'm
shaped.
pleased with how they turned out.
I'm very impressed with your handiwork there.
It took me 3 hours
Well, I mean, yes.
with the sanding block.
Yeah, it looks like it.
And then the next step.
This is what
Oh.
you want to really talk about. This
this
is what
is-
you've been waiting for. That's
this
why I
is-
gave it to the end.
Don't sound too excited.
No, I'm actually excited. I want to. I actually am glad you're asking for help on this one because this is something that I think is going to really make that thing swing. So those on the video, we apologize to the podcast listeners. Derek just pulled out 12,
No. I have
2, 4,
10.
6, 8, 10
I have 10 rolls
of
film covering for this that I have inherited / been given from not only my father-in-law but a guy
Is
that
it
I met
all-
on Facebook.
Is it all clear? Not clear
No,
is the word I want.
transparent.
Transparent is the word I'm looking for.
No, so I thought I had a lot more transparent than I actually do. I only have 3 transparent colors. In the video you can
I
see
like
it.
the green.
I have green, red, and yellow
So
for
what
my transparency.
colors are you thinking?
Hold on, for the audio listeners, let me list off the rest of the colors.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I'm not going to count one of the blacks because I have 2 of them. So
And
I
that
only
one's
have
almost-
9 colors, and
Yeah.
one of the blacks is almost out.
Yep.
So my other colors, I have a pearl teal, very pretty color.
That's very metallic. I like it.
I have a flat white.
And it's white.
Yeah, it's white.
Those are your trans.
So I only have the 3 transparent. The
Transparents.
rest of these are solid colors.
yeah,
So white, pearl, teal. I have this pearl pink.
I
I don't actually have the label for it, so I don't know
that
what it is.
Mauve?
It's
It's
a
It's a reddish, purplish
it's a
color.
pink color. You can see in the video.
Pinkish color.
there. Really pretty color.
Yeah.
Then I have just straight black,
Yep.
straight red, and straight blue.
Yeah.
So-
I would say that's close to navy blue.
Yeah. So
Well,
my,
a little lighter, might be closer to like royal blue.
the blue I got from my father-in-law.
It's not a bad color, but I'll tell
he
you,
used it to cover his P-51 Mustang.
the first instinct I had when you pulled out all those colors and
Mhm.
everything was black and the green.
Why is that?
I don't know. It just kind of,
Hmm.
as you rock everything around,
Yeah.
I just thought like the flaps in black, the
Fuselage.
fuselage in black, and the wings in the clear coat. I mean the transparent green.
Don't forget, I have 2 fins sticking out of the top of this thing.
You could do the fins in black too,
Okay. You're along the lines of what I've actually been thinking of doing.
because that I think would look pretty cool. The teal green would be very shiny,
Yeah.
and I don't think that's what you want. Like you could do like if you changed up the colors and you could do the teal as your secondary color. Because if it was like the wings, I think that would be way too shiny. Plus, you're covering up those beautiful ribs.
I know these ribs are really pretty.
And you just don't want to do that. That's why you want to put the transparent. I see bad things happening if you put that there.
Okay, I'm gonna put it rest it here on our mic booms.
Yeah.
So that I don't have to hold it and
We can still look at
the
it.
video can kind of see it. So what I've thought of doing, I like the black for the fuselage pod as well as the fins.
Yep.
I think that's a good
And I
way
think
to go.
for your wings too.
My control surfaces.
Yes, your control surfaces.
Maybe I'm still thinking about that one.
Okay, that's fine. That's just my thought.
Yeah, exactly. For the wing,
Uh-huh.
actual wing portion, what I've thought of doing is going from the leading edge to the center spar in this pink color,
Okay.
that pearl pink, and then from the spar to the trailing edge,
The
the transparent red,
yeah. And then the black on the.
and then the black on the center and the fins.
I mean, you have all colors of airplanes,
I
so
do.
that would work. I'm not the biggest fan of red.
Yeah.
That's why the green. But I would.
One reason I'm thinking the red is because
Those two work together.
they work together, but
Yeah.
it will stand out better in the sky, no matter what color the sky is, except for our nasty red that we have right now from smoke.
Yeah, that is true. That is true, which is why the teal pearl, would also stand out only because of the sun reflection. It wouldn't actually stand out,
Yeah,
but the reflecting, because that looks like it would be very high reflection.
yeah, probably.
So you would. I don't know what was just happening there. You would be able to see it, but I'm not opposed to those three colors. But
That's been the only
that-
thought I've had.
doing that metallic red one that you have,
transparent red,
no, the metallic one,
the pearl.
yeah, the pearl, having that at the beginning, isn't that going to be like a nightmare to get it all tacked down and be nice and what you want it to do? I mean, there's a little bit of like heat shrink that you do with it, but there's nothing for it. I mean, they're sticky on one side, right?
Yeah.
And so that's part of it, but isn't part of it you want it tight?
Yeah. So what I would do
You wrap it, right?
is I'd start on the. I'd actually
Cross
I'd
section.
actually do the pink last.
Yeah.
But I'd start on the cross beam or the main spar, and I'd wrap it around to the bottom or the top of the. I'd start on the top and I'd wrap it around to the bottom and cut it off, and then I'd tack along that edge,
Okay.
and then fold anything down.
Got it. But wouldn't that be the last piece you put on?
Oh, that's right. That's right. So I put the transparent red on from the
Because
trailing
you want
edge up,
this, yeah.
and that would get folded down in front of the main spar.
Then you would do the
and
pearl.
then the pearl would go over the top of that. And there's two reasons to do it the one reason to do it that way is then the wind is flowing over that seam rather than into it.
Yep. So again, reduce friction,
Well, that and it doesn't peel the coating off or the covering off.
which either way is a good thing.
Yeah. But no, there'd be plenty of surface for that to adhere to.
That would look pretty cool. And then the black
In the black center.
on the center and the fins on top. And then your control surfaces, are you thinking the transparent red or because I thought the black would look nice.
The black, I think the black probably would, because one thing that I'm having trouble and trying to figure out is you always want some way or some indicator on your model to clearly indicate left and right left versus right and top versus bottom.
Yes.
Top versus bottom I have covered because of the fins.
Yes.
When I'm looking, if I can see the fins, I'm looking at the top of it.
Yes. And
Front to back, especially on a wing, you need front to back. But front to back, I can tell by where the the pod will stick out from the wing.
correct.
That'll be all right. But top versus bottom, or left versus right, is where, there's still indicators to look for, but you need something quick and fast. Like on my Spirit glider, the underside of the wing is white, except for on the left wing,
You have
there
a
is
stripe.
a yellow, black, yellow band.
Yep. So you know which side. So you with a quick view, almost no matter how far out, you know which way you're going.
Yeah, because the underside of the whole thing is white. So when it's up high, Like, that's a dumb design now that I think about it. I'm glad I have a red nose on there now. Because that
Yeah.
also stands out in the sky and makes it really, oh, there's the wing and there's the nose. All right, we can do this.
Yep.
Rather
So-
than be like, it's white. I can't see it anymore.
Yeah, it just disappeared. Oh,
Yeah.
there's part of it. Oh, and it's gone.
And it's crashed.
And there's the
So
rest of
that's
it.
something I'm also trying to figure out is I'm considering mapping it or laying it out that way, but then also running like a black stripe down one side on the underside.
You could do
But
that.
I don't know. We'll see. This is.
But I mean, I'm not opposed to the colors. I think those will look good. I think those will be
But I
good.
have so many colors to choose from.
I know, and I would not go more than 3,
No, absolutely not.
because then that gets just ugly.
Yeah, well, no offense to the guy that designed it, but it's better than the yellow with paint splotches that he designed. Or that he recommends. I really don't like that design. Yeah.
No, I wouldn't do that. But that does give you the indication you need.
Yeah, it
for
lets you know
everything-
where the leading edge is, but everything else is yellow,
Yeah.
which is, I don't want to do that.
So,
And
but
I'm already scared enough as is to do a flying wing.
I'm excited for you to get it done and take
I'm
it out.
excited too, but absolutely terrified.
Yeah.
So, but that is where I'm at on that project, trying to figure out what colors. It is ready. I need some bullet connectors for my motor to plug into the ESC. But other than that, it's ready to go.
So really, once you've nailed down the colors, and I say go with what you said, except, or you could even your control surfaces, you could do them in black and pearl, but
Mhm.
so they're opposite of each other.
Oh, so do the left one black and the right one pearl
Yeah.
sort of thing?
Something like that.
That's actually not a bad idea.
So,
Because that would be a good indicator of left
which,
versus
yes,
right.
it gives you that. It gives you your indication, and then you could also. I mean, I think the top flaps all black would be cool, but then you could do instead of both flaps. I mean, both
Fins.
fins on top black. You could do the opposite one black. So just a thought. You don't have
Yeah.
to do that, but just to kind of give you that
Yeah.
indication. Because then if you're upside down, you can see the black, but the red might not show up. So both of those black against the red would show up.
Yeah.
But if you do one control surface black and the other control surface red, I think
That might work.
that give you your indication of your left side, your right side. I think it will still look great.
I do also have flat red that I could do on the leading portion of the wing instead of the pearl pink. And then do the transparent
Do
red.
those two colors.
Yeah. So leading edge red and then
The transparent. Yeah, I don't know.
trailing half.
I think I like the
transparent.
pearl better.
I think I do too. That's
Because
Like,
I was leaning on
that's really
these
pretty.
two.
the green and the pearl teal.
Yeah.
That could also be a good matchup.
Yeah. Or except then that's two solids. You don't have if you had a
Really?
blue teal, a blue
Transparent
transparent blue, that would be cool.
I could go get one. Because 6 feet of this is like $15.
Oh, that's not too bad.
No.
You could rewrap that a couple times.
Yeah.
But
so we'll
with
see.
what you have, I think the red would look good. The red
The
pearl and the
transparent.
transparent red with the black. I think that will look pretty good.
If you have any thoughts, feel free to put your comments in down
Yeah.
below.
So that since the visual part of that is, go to the YouTube channel and take a look and tell us what you think.
Yeah.
You can send us emails too.
I'll also
but-
I'll put a picture. So I've got a picture of all my covering colors, and I'll put that picture. Sorry, I'll put that picture as well as a picture of the wing on our socials with the question of what color would you recommend?
Yep.
And feel free to comment there, stuff like that. That'll go out this weekend probably.
Watch
but
for
yeah,
that.
I'm trying to think if I have any other projects. Let me look around my room.
Probably.
Oh, well, I have lots of projects, but are there any that are
Active.
at the top of the list? Well, they're all active to some extent. I think that's it.
Well,
beginner tips from me.
Yeah. Do you have anything?
Oh goodness. I don't know if I have anything this time.
Okay. I mean, there's.
Here's a good one. Don't be afraid to ask questions.
Yeah.
RC groups, the Fort website, it's a forum for RC, everything RC, and it's full of people asking questions, and lots of people asking questions that are brand new. And I've yet to meet anyone in the hobby, any aspect of it, that's not helpful.
Yeah.
And so
they all seem very much like, we want you in this hobby, so we will definitely answer your questions.
absolutely. Well, and especially with the way things are going, it's actually like there's not as many people doing this hobby as there once was.
Yeah.
There are more, but at the same time not. So
and we always want more coming in.
Yeah.
Because that will strengthen it and give it validity, as long as people are following the rules and
flying safe,
flying
all that
safe,
stuff. Yeah.
which is the key, right? We
Well,
want to
and-
fly safe and have fun.
Yeah. Well, and like your private pilots and your commercial pilots probably have some background somewhere in RC.
Yeah.
And your aeronautical engineers, like my brother, both my brothers actually, they have a background in RC.
Yeah. So there's
like,
a lot of large plane, piloted planes technology that is utilized in RC and vice versa.
Well, and it's great because, one reason for that is aerodynamics scale perfectly.
Yeah, it's amazing.
You can, if it works on a scale model, it'll work full size.
Yeah.
So yeah, there you go. One last beginner tip. When you buy a transmitter, don't only buy receivers that are of that same brand. I've helped a guy on RC groups this week. He bought a Fly Sky transmitter and was asking if he could use a Free Sky receiver.
Oh, are they compatible?
No,
Not at all.
no, because they use very different protocols.
Yeah.
So I'm like, no, dude, you need to go get a Fly Sky receiver to work with your Fly Sky radio. Unless you have some special module that allows you to use other protocols, you're out of luck on that.
Yeah, which is what I added to mine, so I could go with the older.
Yeah,
protocols.
yours is a multi-protocol for Free Sky, but
it's still Free Sky.
Yes.
So you would probably have to find somebody that had developed one to fit that was not a Free Sky.
Yeah.
And there might be some out there.
There are multi-protocol modules where you can take like your Free Sky transmitter, plug a module in the back, and you have access to Spectrum receivers and Futaba and all that stuff.
Okay.
So there are things out there to do that. There's not a lot. They're pretty hard to find. But when you get your transmitter and you're looking for a receiver, look for receivers from that company.
Yeah.
That same company.
And if they say that they're compatible with, then read the comments and see if everybody says so.
Yes, because like with Spectrum transmitters and receivers, you can buy a Spectrum transmitter, and then you can go on Hobby King and buy an Orange X receiver. They use the same protocol. They work fine, but the Orange X ones are much, much cheaper.
Okay.
So they're much, much more prone to what's called brownouts, signal loss.
Yeah, so you lose your signal while in mid-flight.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of like
And I've flown on some Orange X ones with my old Spectrum receiver and transmitter and never had an issue. But it's the quality control you're taking a chance with.
And that's the thing is like if you're buying third-party stuff that's compatible, there's always the possibility that something is not actually 100% compatible.
Yeah.
So you just we're not saying don't do it. We're just saying be aware of it. And when you buy a $12 receiver that has 45 channels, be very, very wary.
Yeah.
Because
I've never seen one like that.
So
it's probably fake.
Or not all 45 channels work.
Yeah.
Or, that's what we're just saying. It's like be very cautious when you're buying third-party stuff and make sure that the community that are using them let you know that they're
verifies that it's good.
verified they are good.
Yeah.
But
yeah, don't be afraid to ask questions at any point, though. Everyone's like, I have yet to meet someone that's like, no, I don't want to talk to you. And I've heard that there's people like that out there.
And there's always people like that out there.
But 99% of the time, you're going to run into somebody that's more than willing to help you out.
And I think most people are like, yeah, cool. This we more flyers is better.
Yeah.
So,
yep. So I think. Do you have any final thoughts?
No, I really don't. I'm just excited to try the fixes that you gave me, and then fly my elf when I get it fixed.
All right. Well, before we run into the outro, be sure to hit that subscribe button if you're on YouTube.
Give us a thumbs up.
Give us a thumbs up if you feel so inclined. If you're on any of the podcasting apps that our stuff comes out on,
5 stars if you
if you like us, hit us up with a review.
We want to see those.
Share us with your flying buddies.
Yep.
And what was the other thing? Oh, subscribe to us on those podcasting services, because you can do that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And remember, when flying inverted, up is down and down is expensive.
Yes, it is.
RPM is how hard you hit the ground, and torque is how far you have to dig to get out.
I think my glider was going at like 3,000 RPM when I hit the ground, but absolutely no torque. It just bounced. See you guys.
Have a good one.